What is up? What is up? What is up, everyone? How y'all doing tonight? Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Let me know if my sound and everything is good before we get started. Let me know how I'm sounding. Jay Blue said can hear. Okay, good. What's going on, Miss Gowdy? Good to see you tonight. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Devon say I'm good. Okay, cool. Sound is clear on my end. All right. How y'all doing tonight? So tonight we're going to talk about SWAC expansion. What teams would you like to see if you think it's a good idea if the SWAC expands? Like, because we're hearing about Howard leaving the MEAC. So the MEAC is going to have only 5 football teams remaining. And so looks like they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. And they're probably going to need to either dissolve or expand themselves. So if that happens, I want to know who y'all think would be a good fit for the SWAC, or if y'all would even be okay with the SWAC expanding. And I'll take some calls too, so y'all can get y'all points out. Sound is clear on my end. All right. Hope everybody had a good Easter Sunday. Hope y'all had a good time with y'all families and things like that, going to church. Diamond said TSU. That's who I want, but it seems like TSU to me, they seem like I don't know. They kind of seem like they feel like they too good for the SWAC. Yeah, for some reason, they just come off like that when I see the little press conferences and the little articles and stuff like that. It just seemed to me like, oh no, I think they would be a perfect fit for the SWAC, but I don't know. I don't know why they seem like they don't want to come to the SWAC. Seem like they want to go to a bigger conference, which is cool, but at the same time, you have to do you have to see what's a culture fit. Every school ain't a culture fit. Expand with SC and TSU, both teams will bring excitement. Right. They want to be FBS but can't win in the OVC. Right. Miss Gowdy said Norfolk would be a good team. See, the only thing about Norfolk I'm thinking about is like the travel. That's the only problem I can see with some of the MEAC teams being, coming to the SWAC is traveling. But the Florida schools are doing it, so maybe we can make it work. So y'all know my guy, Mr. Ford, he gonna call in. Mr. Ford always waiting on me to go live so he can call in. And he always have a lot to say. All good as long as it's in the SWAC footprint for travel. Tennessee State is delusional. Low key will be middle of the pack or lower in the SWAC. Yeah, I don't know what's up with them. Why they acting like, y'all act like y'all want catch that work in the SWAC. Eddie George getting a few 4 stars and he just getting beside himself. But I'm gonna open up the phone lines because we'll be waiting on Mr. Ford to call, but y'all can call in as well. Hold on, give me just a second. So the number's on the screen, 657-390-4814. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Want to get the likes up so we can get the stream out to more people. I appreciate y'all pulling up to the channel. We're just talking about SWAC content tonight. Begging JSU to continue the classic. Right, they begging JSU to continue the classic, but you act like you too good to come to the SWAC. But you need Jackson State to get them fans to come to the game, though. If the MEAC teams don't join, does that mean the SWAC not on the rise like we think? Well, I don't think that. I feel like if the MEAC teams don't join, it'll be because of travel. That's probably what it'll be. It won't be because the SWAC is not hot, because the SWAC is hot, you know. And then I think more people will come to the games if they were playing SWAC teams. The only other expansion I could think of would be a D2 team possibly moving up to D1. Yeah, I heard a lot about Kentucky State. They wanted to go to the MEAC. So the MEAC was to dissolve. Maybe they'll change their mind and try to come to the SWAC. You know, that's the only D2 team that I see right now trying to move up. Tennessee fans don't even show up for their home games. Right. Now, Eddie George say they might show up this year because of playing games at the stadium, but I don't know. The SU Tigers said Tuskegee. I wonder how many fans, the capacity of their stadium. That's the only thing I would see with Tuskegee. I think SC State, Tennessee State, NCCU maybe. If NBC come back strong, maybe we could get into the ATL market. All right, I got a call, y'all. Hold on just a second. It's Mr. Ford. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, Mr. Ford.
Hey,
Mr. Ford, you there?
Mr. Ford, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me make sure everybody in the chat can hear you.
Okay.
Can y'all hear him, y'all? Let me know if y'all can hear him.
This is Mr. Ford. Can you hear me?
They should be able to hear you. Let me make sure, though.
Oh, okay. I see Mario said, "What's up, Mr. Ford?" So you can hear me, Mario?
Yeah, you good, Mr. Ford. You can go ahead.
Okay. Guys, it's no question that the SWAC is 38 hot. One of the things I've tried to tell y'all is that the SWAC is always on the television. It's all over the YouTube. It's in all the major magazines. I've given you data on the amount of money that has been spent on the SWAC as far as publicity. You can go to ESPN, and there are conversations about the SWAC. There was a magazine that has now changed its name called The Undefeated. There's always an article about the SWAC. The SWAC is very, very hot, and I think it can get even hotter. I want to say this one of the things I want to do is try to give a solution to this problem. But I want to say this to North Carolina A&T, to Hampton University, and to Howard University.
Uh-oh.
You have sold out your people. Those people in the CAA do not need you, and they're going to show you that they don't need you and that they don't want you. With you trying to just be in the big house, you sold your people out. Listen, Howard, your basketball team looked decent this year. Your girls' basketball team went to the NCAA. I think you got beat by the University of South Carolina, maybe first round. Okay? You are not even a powerhouse in the MEAC. Now you call yourself going to the CAA. All three of those institutions that I just called out, Hampton, North Carolina A&T, and Howard University, your name is going to become synonymous with losing as an athletic department. You sold out your alumni. You sold out your community. And I want to say to that, the president of Howard University, I've been told that he's getting ready to retire. Wayne I. Fredericks. I think your name is Dr. Wayne I. Fredericks. You are a medical doctor. But I want to give you some credit. The leadership that you provided as head of the President's Council and the leadership that Dennis Thomas provided as the commissioner of the MEAC for, I think, about almost 20 years, you helped to destroy that conference. And now you want to hightail it. That's cowardice. That is cowardice. But this is one thing I always understand. There's a solution to every problem. Now, if the MEAC cannot maintain itself simply because they do not have 6 football playing schools, this is what I'm asking. The MEAC has to go after Winston-Salem State. They have to go after Virginia State. They have to go after Kentucky State. Now, the other thing that I'm asking is that we merge the SWAC and the MEAC. However, we would allow the MEAC continue to have the autonomy. Okay? Now, why do I say that?
That's what I was thinking.
We got a major country. Huh? Can you hear me?
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. We have a major contract with ESPN, better known as the Celebration Bowl. Let me say this to y'all. That's too much money to lose. We have got to maintain the MEAC. And if the MEAC would merge with the SWAC, but we would still have on that eastern seaboard the MEAC conference, but under the umbrella of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, it would be a great thing. Because as I said, we don't want to lose that contract with ESPN, better known as the Celebration Bowl. Mm-hmm. I've said it over and over. We can have a super conference, okay? We have the leadership under Dr. Charles McClellan. I know some of you like to make fun of me when I say my commissioner, but I've seen the commissioners the SWAC have had. We had what that guy was. We had one guy named Rudy Washington. He was a joke. We had another guy that was from New Jersey. He was the one who put the SWAC championship out in Houston, Texas. He was a joke. Well, let me just say this to y'all. Dr. Charles McClellan ain't no joke. Mm-hmm. Okay? He knows what he's doing. And I say that what we need to do, if we need to bring the MEAC under the SWAC umbrella, let's do that. Now, the other thing that I keep saying this over and over, I want to appeal to the people in Tuskegee. Every year, you need to have, you signed a 3-year contract with Alabama State, so that's good. But I need you to play Alabama A&M every year. That's not only good for the SWAC, for the SIAC, but that's also good for HBCU football. We need you to play those schools. I know that they will come here, those SWAC schools. I really would like to see some of those SWAC schools. I'm not asking Clark or Morehouse to join the SWAC, but I would like some, like a Jackson State, to come here so that the people in the Atlanta area can see them. If it means having to play Clark, Atlanta, having to play Morehouse, I don't care. I know that they're going to beat them to death, but I want y'all to know there are so many people here. There are 6.5 million people in the Atlanta area. They want to see Southern University. Mm-hmm. They want to see Florida A&M. I'm not just talking about in the SWAC, MEAC Challenge, or in the Celebration Bowl. They would just like to see them. And so I would, if you could mix in a Clark Atlanta, simply for the people in Atlanta like me who would like to see you in person. I would love to see you in person. I would love to see Southern in person. I would love to see Jackson State in person. And I know that some of them are coming here for the MEAC SWAC Challenge, but I'd like to see you, if you could come to Clark Atlanta Stadium, or if you could come to Morehouse, so we can see you. Okay?
So
I'd love
Mr. Ford,
shake hands with Deion Sanders.
Mr. Ford, so what would you say to the people that's going to push back on everything you just said, saying that, well, the MEAC...
I meant to touch on, let me just tell you this about us as a people. Mm-hmm. Let me just say this. In the last 50 years, with the coming of integration, one of the things that the black community does not want to do, we don't want to address when we have an emergency situation. Now, ever since, I would say since the 80s, we got all our little black boys and black men are being killed by our own people or by the police, and we want to be desensitized to it. And the other thing that we don't want to do, we don't want to come together. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's why I hate this move that North Carolina A&T and that Hampton has done, and now that Howard is doing it. Because what you're doing is you want to stop working on your own house and go play slave for the white man. See, I don't understand that. But I understand that. I know there are going to be people, because one of the things we can't do, we can't come together, okay? But for the people who are sensible and who are understanding, that's who I'm talking to. I know it's about 30% of our people who are sensible and understanding and want to see our community flourish. Those are the people. I hope that those minds are the ones that dominate. Because, like I told you before, we have 66% of our people are crabs in a barrel. They always hurt us, okay? And not only do they hurt us, they're waging war against those people, that 33% that's trying to do right, okay? So I already know that they're going to be pushed back.
Yeah,
but we must save.
The thing that really disappoints me about all of this is that Hampton, Howard, and North Carolina A&T is some of our best black institutions, you know.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're not going to be in a black conference, the fact that they're not going to be in a black conference is very disappointing. You know, it's like.
But let me just say this: those people in that CAA, every chance they get, they're going to remind them that they are Negroes in their eyes. They're going to show them that they're never going to treat them as equal members of that CAA. Okay. Now, but my thing is this: athletically, they don't have the money to compete or be champions in that conference. I'm telling you, the CAA, you're talking about Villanova. Okay, I told y'all before, Villanova spends $58 million on athletics. North Carolina A&T spends $16 million. Hampton spends $15 million. There's a big difference between $58 million and $15 and $16 million, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. All right. So listen, I'm gonna say this again. You know, if people got in their call, got any questions for me. I know I've said a lot, but
Mario says, so why would they make the move?
Listen, okay. That guy he's the president now that's on his way out. They call him Slick Harvey, Dr. Harvey. He's been trying to get out of the MEAC for the years. He was in the CIAA. He got into the MEAC, and now I guess the MEAC is subpar to him. North Carolina A&T was doing well. Like I tell people all the time, before the coming of Deion Sanders, the toast of the town for the HBCU athletics was North Carolina A&T. Listen, last year was the first time they hadn't had a winning season in 10 years in football. Let me just tell you this. They ain't going to have a winning season in the next 10 years. Fooling around first with that Big South Conference, and now they're taking their behinds to the CAA. They ain't going to have a winning season. I believe that. They won't have a winning season. So it's a sellout move, and y'all know what a sellout is. You know, you're not happy with your people, so you want to go and play slave for your oppressor. You know, it's nothing new. It's a plantation mentality.
Now,
and it's sad to say.
Now, so let me play devil's advocate. So there'll be people on the other side that will say, well, why can't we go to this conference that get more revenue and have a bigger revenue share? And we're still a HBCU. We're still representing black people. So why can't we go be great as a black institution in a white conference?
Listen, you got a 33-year example in a school called Tennessee State. What has the OVC done for Tennessee State? Listen, Tennessee State had a coach called L.C. Cole. He came into Tennessee State, I want to say, maybe in the mid-'90s. He took his lumps, but for about 2 or 3 years, he dominated the OVC. Listen, he was the lowest paid coach in the OVC, and then the OVC used its influence to run him out of Tennessee State. So if you think you're going to win in those people's conference, you think they're going to let you come in their conference and win, you can forget it. It's not happening. It's not happening. Like I said, Tennessee State, I think, went into the OVC, 1986 or 1985? What has the OVC done for Tennessee State?
Miss Gowdy said, Miss Gowdy says, Mr. Ford, what do you think about TSU acting like they don't want to come over to the SWAC?
Because they don't know any better. That's pure ignorance. I've said it over and over. Dr. Glover's president of Tennessee State. She has a law degree. She's an attorney. She has a PhD in business. But she doesn't understand how to run an athletic program. Listen, the only way that Tennessee State will become a perennial winner again or to become relevant again in HBCU athletics is that they have to come either to the SWAC or the MEAC. There's no, they could even go independent. They could go independent. but they will never be a dominant player in the OVC. Never. It's not happening.
So Angie Body says, so Mr. Ford, so is Mr. Ford saying we can't compete physically in football with that conference or just financially?
No. I'm saying that we don't have the money.
Okay.
Okay? Miss Body, listen to me again now. Villanova spends Villanova is in the CAA. Villanova spends $58 million on sports. North Carolina A&T is coming into the CAA. They're spending $16 million on sports. Hampton is spending $15 million on sports. There's a big difference between $58 million and $15 and $16 million. That's what I'm talking about, Miss Body. Okay? We don't belong in those conferences. We can't compete with those people. See, when you talk about football, you got to spend money. You think you're going to compete against Villanova and you only pull in 2,000 and 3,000 people to your games? You can forget it.
So
I hear you, Jess. We said Cole became a cheat. I hear you.
So
you're right. He did leave. I think he left Tennessee State and went to Alabama State.
Mr. Ford,
I think he was at Stillman College.
Mr. Ford, so Tut says the minute you do something different, you're labeled a sellout. Maybe the problem is not the teams. Maybe the problem is the MEAC.
My thing is you left that conference in a lurch. They have if the SWAC does not step in and try to save the MEAC, that MEAC could go out of existence. We need the MEAC to be strong. We need the MEAC to survive. We need the MEAC to flourish.
Yep.
Okay? Now, I'm not saying simply because they left, but here's the thing. The CAA doesn't need Hampton. The CAA does not need North Carolina A&T. The CAA does not need Howard. But the MEAC needs them.
Yep.
And you leave at a time when you know that they need you, and you know that they could go out of existence. That's a sellout move. You said Villanova is in the Big East in basketball. But in football and in their other sports, they're also in the, I think maybe football is the main thing that they're in the CAA. Just Google the CAA people in the conference. You'll see it. Villanova's in there. But they are, you're right. Jay Blue, you're right about that. Villanova is in the Big East. And one thing about Villanova in the Big East, that when it comes to basketball, Villanova is dominant. They got one of the best coaches in the country. That guy, Jay Wright, he trained under Raleigh Massimino. He's brilliant.
So, Mr. Ford, so you don't see a scenario where the MEAC could stand after losing Howard?
Yeah, like I said, what they've got to do in the MEAC now, they've got to go after Winston-Salem State. They've got to go after Virginia State. Now, here's the thing about Kentucky State. It would be logistics.
Yeah.
Okay, trying to get to those MEAC schools during the week is going to be rough. That's because, really, to be honest with you, geographically, Kentucky State should be in the SWAC. Okay?
Yeah.
They should be in, because that's a southern school, but it's on that part of the South. Excuse me. They should be in the SWAC. But, I mean, if they want to try it, they could. But the main thing is we got to try to save the MEAC.
One Main TV said, where did Howard go?
Main TV, Howard is trying to go to they're going to the
CAA.
Savannah State. Now, let me tell you what happened with Savannah State. They didn't have the funds. They didn't have the money. Savannah State is basically a Division II program. So you got to understand about Georgia, okay? See, Florida has one major black state university. That's Florida A&M. Here in Georgia, we got three. We got Fort Valley, we got Albany State, we got Savannah State. And it would be best for them to remain Division II, okay? They don't have the athletic budget to compete in a MEAC or in a SWAC. But I do believe that MEAC schools and SWAC schools should play Albany and Fort Valley. I don't see a problem with South Carolina State playing Fort Valley. I don't have a problem with Albany State playing Alabama State and Alabama A&M. I don't have a problem with Albany State playing Florida A&M, which they are going to play this year. When I was growing up, Albany State played Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman every year. Okay, but that doesn't mean that we need to have Albany State and Fort Valley in the SWAC, because I don't think they're Division II schools.
So I want to say North Carolina Central. Do you see them coming to the SWAC if the MEAC dissolves? I mean, I would like to see South Carolina State come personally because I think
it would be better for South Carolina State because you could see from South Carolina State to Florida A&M to Bethune-Cookman to Alabama A&M to Alabama State. That's not a bad ride.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it'd be a little bit more for North Carolina Central. What we got to do, like I said, at all costs, we got to maintain the MEAC. Now, if they cannot get that sixth school to maintain the conference, what I'm saying is that have the MEAC to come under the SWAC umbrella, but at the same time, maintain some autonomy. Now, here's what I'm saying. Come under the umbrella, meaning that the top person would still be Dr. Charles McClure. However, he could still have it at his purview how he wants the administration to be set up under or in the MEAC. But we've got to try to maintain the MEAC. There's too much money to be lost if the MEAC goes out of existence. We got to, the SWAC is, we don't have a choice. We got to try to save the MEAC.
Yeah,
and I know some of
the
y'all
new commissioner.
And say, we don't need the MEAC. That's a lie. We do need the MEAC.
Yeah, we do. But yeah, I think the new commissioner of the MEAC, she's been put in a really bad position because she's just getting there,
well,
and then you got all these people leaving.
The guy that her predecessor, the person that was there before her, Dr. Dennis Thomas, did a lousy job. Okay, not only did he do a lousy job, the guy who was president of the President's Council, who is the supposedly retiring president at Howard University, Wayne R. Frederick, he was lousy too. And so when you got all this lousy leadership, eventually it comes back to destroy. Okay, and so that's what has happened. Okay, you had lousy leadership under Dennis Thomas as commissioner, lousy leadership under Wayne R. Frederick as president of the council. When you listen, always remember, like I always tell people, here's the situation. When President Trump was put in office as president of the United States, all of the historians told us the country and the people would suffer because you put a clown in the White House. Don't you see how America's suffering now? That's because they put a clown in the White House. That's what I'm telling you about the MEAC. You put poor leaders in the commissioner seat. You put a poor leader in the seat as the president's counsel. Now you're suffering. But we still have to save them.
Stock Market Short said Norfolk State will leave the MEAC if Howard leaves. But from what I'm hearing, it's not a if Howard leaves. I'm hearing that they're pretty much they're trying to leave. They're trying to get up out of there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just hope that the SWAC will reach out to their brothers and try to save it.
Diamond said Bethune-Cookman may need to go back to the MEAC. Now,
I don't think it's a good thing that we lose the MEAC. I don't.
Yeah, Bethune-Cookman and FAMU, they got off a sinking ship. They did what they were supposed to do. They seen it coming.
Yeah,
they seen it coming.
Listen, let me tell you what happened, especially with Florida A&M. Florida A&M was having to take their golf team, their tennis team to places like Coppin State, Delaware State. That's out of their region.
Yeah.
FAMU was having big crowds at all their football games, but they still had a debt of $700,000 because of the travel to these schools up north. Listen, those people at the state capitol told Florida A&M, you can no longer run a deficit. You can no longer do this. That's why they had enough sense to join the SWAC. What sense does it make for the basketball team at Florida A&M to be going all the way up to Morgan State or to be going all the way up to Delaware State? How much sense does that make? That's out of their region. Listen, this is the South. You have Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. That's the deep South.
Yep.
Delaware State, that's almost in the north.
Yeah, I love
it makes no sense.
I love when BCU and FAMU came. I think they fit right in like a glove.
Yeah. Listen, they should have been there 40 years ago. The other thing, because I'm telling you, the poor leadership that was exhibited by Dr. Thomas and Wayne R. Frederick, they didn't have enough sense to split that conference. That would have helped each school with travel. Okay? All they had to do was go Bethune-Cookman, Florida A&M, South Carolina State, and maybe one of the North Carolina schools, and then you split the conference, and you'd have a northern region and a southern region. You could have had your Coppin states, your Morgan states, your Delaware states, your Howards, your Norfolk state. They didn't have enough sense to do that. I'm telling you, we got to do as much as we can.
Do you think that?
SWAC to
do you
try
think that
save the MEAC?
Do you think there might be a concern of sharing money? Maybe that's what it is. They don't want to share because when you join a conference, you're gonna have to share money.
Listen, let me say this, SWAC. Dr. McClellan's an accountant, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what to do. He's an accountant. He's a businessman.
Yep.
He knows what to do. Everybody knows now that when it comes to money making, there's nobody. Okay, like I told you before, this last homecoming Jackson State had, they make $5.2 million at that homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
You think Norfolk State making that kind of money? You think Hampton's making that kind of money? I think Howard Stadium only seats like 7,000. Okay, now Norfolk State has a stadium that seats 30,000. Okay, but that's a problem there that Dr. McClellan and his staff can solve. That's not going to be a problem.
Hold on, Mr. Ford.
The thing now is,
hold on, Mr. Ford. I am Big Jones. Call in. If you have a point to refute, just call in. The number's right there. The phone line is open. You can call it in, get your thoughts out, and let us know what you disagree with. That's why the phone line is there.
Yeah, Mr. Jones, please do that. I personally think you get this guy one or too much airtime. Oh, okay. Well, call in so you can get you some airtime. Okay, because I always remember personal opinions are like, what part of the body, right? Everybody got one. That's your personal opinion.
The phone lines are open, y'all. Y'all can call in. The phone lines are open. The only solution to save the MEAC is for the SWAC to send 2 teams. I don't think that's going to happen, Mario.
No.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
What you want to do is maintain your celebration bowl. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to do the right thing, you got to try to save it. Listen, you know the money that we get in the MEAC and the SWAC from the Celebration Bowl? Do you know that benefits everybody? I've talked to different schools that have gone to the Celebration Bowl. I talked to one girls basketball coach in the MEAC. He got money from their team, went to the Celebration Bowl. They gave him extra money because of the money received from the Celebration Bowl. We don't need to give up that money. That's why we need to save the MEAC. What I'm saying is, you could keep the MEAC's name, but they would be under the umbrella of the SWAC.
Yeah. Well, you have to make sure that doesn't go against NCAA rules too. So that's a factor as well.
You can merge. I mean, listen, that's what the OVC is so pitiful right now. They're basically trying to merge with the Southland Conference, but they want to keep their name, the OVC, and they're saying that the Southland Conference would keep their name. But they would basically be merged. Okay? Everybody does it but us. Everybody does it.
Yeah, I would love to see it happen.
Here's the sad reality, and I know a lot of people. Whatever his name, what was that guy's name that you said was saying? You was telling him to call in. I know he ain't gonna like this, but see, here's the problem. Every ethnicity in this country can unify, except who? What ethnicity in this country can't unify, can't come together?
Well, it seemed like us. It seemed like us.
Okay, thank you.
But it starts with a thought, and then we just gotta enact on it. There's, like I said, there's good and bad on both sides. So you just gotta.
SWAC, somebody said right here, does VCU have a football team? Is that Virginia Commonwealth, or who are they talking about?
VCU.
Who when you say VCU, who are you talking about?
Maybe he's talking about Virginia State. Did you mean Virginia State?
Yeah, that's one of the schools I'm saying that I would like for the MEAC to go after. You know, Reggie Barlow was there, who was a Alabama State graduate. He's left and gone to this new, is it the USFL? What is it?
The
He's gone to
USFL.
that. There's a new league that started, I think, yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I know
USFL.
one team is called the Birmingham Stallions.
Yeah.
Virginia Commonwealth. I'm trying to think, are they in the A tier? What conference are they in? Do they have football? Does Virginia Commonwealth have football?
Yeah, you have to see if they have football because not all schools have football.
I don't think they have it, do they? That's where Smart and Anthony Grant and them was big at the basketball.
Because Maryland Eastern Shore doesn't have football, and Coppin State doesn't have football.
Time they did. They were a power, and then they cut that program.
Coppin State don't have football either.
And look at Skip McCain and there's another coach after them. They had people like the guy who was the first black coach for the Oakland Raiders. He went to Maryland Eastern Shore. The guy who played with Joe Namath, Emerson Boozer, was from Augusta, Georgia. He went to Maryland Eastern Shore.
Mr. Sonny Boone one. Mr. Sonny Boone one, you can call in. Yeah, call in.
Where's Sonny Boone?
The phone lines are open, y'all. Y'all can call in, you know, and you can get on the show. It's not easy to move up. You got to meet hella requirements to become a Division I program. That's true.
Yeah. And see, one of the biggest problems that the MEAC, the conference was too long.
Hold on, Mr. Ford.
All the way from, I think, Dover, Delaware, all the way down to Daytona Beach, Florida.
Okay, Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, stay on the line. I'm gonna put this call on. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
What's going on, caller? You live?
Gabriel Green.
What's going on, Gabriel? Talk to me.
What's going on with you? Hey, I guess the first question is, how many teams are left in the MEAC? You know,
football-wise, it's 5 now.
Yeah, it's gonna be 5.
If Howard's gonna leave, it's 5 football playing schools.
Okay, because see, you know, that'll be kind of difficult to try to, you know. I know you want to save it or merge with the SWAC, you know.
Right.
But like you say, maybe like you said, maybe TSU and a couple other schools could merge with the MEAC if we're trying to save the Celebration Bowl. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'm gonna go back to what somebody just put in the chat right there. See, that stuff that Tennessee State is saying, that's delusional. You know, I said it the other night. Okay, Tennessee State got beat by Arkansas Pine Bluff. Okay, Arkansas Pine Bluff is a bottom feeder in the SWAC. But you say you're going FBS. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. You say that you're going FBS, but you can't beat a bottom feeder in the SWAC.
You're right about that.
So that's delusional. That's a problem up there.
I think, Mr. Ford, I think Eddie George is kind of doing it just to get the fans hyped up, just to get the fan base, you know, really believing in what he's trying to do, trying to make it seem like, you know, he's trying to take the program to the next level. That's just my opinion.
Here's the thing. They're not being realistic. Okay, everybody knows that if Tennessee State joins the SWAC, that wipes out 90% of their problems. Because if they play a Grambling or if they play a Southern University, Southern will bring 15,000 people to Nashville. Everybody knows that. That's a major city in the South.
And check this out. Now, okay, they would have to renegotiate with the Southern Heritage Classic, but Jackson State and Tennessee State still could do it. They just meet up in Memphis, you know. It just be another place. They still could do it. They just have to renegotiate. But
listen,
you know them playing who they playing next year? That's who they're playing next year?
They play Notre Dame. They're going to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That's look. That's gonna be a one-leg ass kicking.
There you go.
Okay, Big Jones, I'm gonna answer the phone in just a second. I got you. Okay, appreciate the call, brother. Let me get the other caller. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me. Hello? Calling
Hello,
you
yeah,
live.
this is Big Jones.
What's going on, Big Jones? All right,
What's up, man?
so what do you not agree with?
It's just that every time, I mean, sometimes Mr. Ford, he makes a good point. There's something that he doesn't agree with by an individual black person. He starts talking about black people as a whole. That's what I don't like. So I just look
Well,
at, this is when we talk about we can't unite and all those different things. This is one of those spaces where I feel like a lot of black people do come to unite and do come to uplift each other. And then when every time you come in and you hear him say stuff like that, that defeats the purpose.
well, I go by
Howard,
statistics. I don't know which ones you're looking at, but if you look at us from a sociological standpoint, we are what we are today with about 33% of our people doing correctly. I done said this over and over. 66% of our people are not going to do right. That's statistics. Okay, you can look at. We talk about coming together, but even if you look at the civil rights movement, it was a small percentage of children who were the backbone of the civil rights movement. Most of the older people wouldn't get involved because they were scared they were going to lose their car, their house, and their job. So I'm going by statistics.
Okay, so
what I'm saying.
go ahead, Big John.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
repeat that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what I say is basically what you're saying is black people, the majority of us, are innately, naturally, that like our nature is not to do right. And I think the difference is when you talk about those people that didn't want to do anything, obviously we want everybody to be in movements, but we got to understand that there is a system in place that is against us that no other group has to deal with. These circumstances are unique and they are awesome. They are awesome powers that are designed to impede these type of things. It's not that we just don't want to do these things. It's because we know the consequences are more severe than any other group will have to face. And so when you don't put that into context, you know what I'm saying, and you don't add that to the narrative, I have a problem with that when it's just black people just don't want to do right. No, there's powers that are designed to influence us to do wrong and to influence us not to come together. So that's what.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, Mr. Ford.
We are one of our own biggest enemies because we want to live in a moral lifestyle. That's our problem. See, I don't care what system you put in place. If our people would simply go by what in Exodus 20 is called the 10 Commandments, if the one that says thou shalt not kill, do you know that would wipe out black on black crime? That's our biggest problem. It's not no system. It's the fact that we refuse to live a moral lifestyle. We rather wallow in what is called immorality. Okay? And so it's not the system. Even though we know that the system has problems, but we are our biggest enemy.
Okay. Two things. One, there's a reason why I don't like when Mr. Ford is on. It's because I come to SWAC Buzz to support the black community and black football and uplift, and all I'm hearing is about how black people ain't this and ain't that. Two, that's ahistorical. If you actually look at history, before chattel slavery, before all of these things that were put in place here, if you look at our origins, that is not our history, is to be those things. And thirdly, there is no one more immoral than the white man. No when I'm saying, when you hold on, let me finish. When you talk for 20 minutes.
Hold on, Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, let him finish. Mr. Ford, let him finish. Let him finish, Mr. Ford. Go ahead.
Let me finish. So what I'm saying is, when you talk about these things, you talk about statistics, and you talk about crime, that's what you're going by. Understand that these things are taken out of context. Understand that economic situations, resources, how you're policed, these all play a pivotal role in crime. And when we talk about black on black crime, of course, crime is based on proximity. A white person is more likely to kill a white person. Nobody commits more crime in this country than white people, but they don't have a system against them. The system is for them. So when they get caught, they have resources to get lawyers. They have a system that's going to protect them and give them lighter sentences, while we have systems designed to keep us at the bottom and give us the brunt of whatever the system has to offer. these all play a role in those statistics in that continuous cycle. So
Okay.
here's the whole thing. I didn't come on here to
All
talk
right.
for 20 minutes and debate you about. I came here to talk about and listen to football from swag buzz.
Okay.
Not
So
listen for it.
I am Big
Not
Jones.
talk about how black people ain't nothing.
I am Big Jones.
I've never
Let's
said
get
that. I didn't say. But
Hold
I
on,
do
Mr.
wanna
Ford.
say this to
Hold on,
you.
Mr. Ford.
You gonna sit around
Hold on, Mr.
comparing
Ford.
yourself to white people? You got
Hold
a
on.
hard rod to toe because there are some things that you got to do. White people don't have to do it.
Hold on, Mr. Ford.
And what I'm saying is, this is all I'm saying. That's true. All I'm saying is, I'm going to leave on this. Kwame Ture said any analysis that doesn't take in the system of white supremacy is inadequate. Put that into context, brother. That's all I'm saying. It's not just that we just ain't this.
Okay, so let's bring it back to football. Let's bring it back to football because we kind of got off the road just a minute. Let's bring it back to football. So, what do you think the HBCU conferences should do? Do you think they should stick? Do you think these HBCU schools should stick to black conferences, or are you okay with them going to conferences like the CAA?
And I gotta go real quick. I just came out here literally on my lunch break just to talk real quick because y'all asked me to call in. But what I'll say is, as far as that, I would hope to see historically black colleges stay in black conferences. That's what I would hope to see. I hope that the SWAC or whoever can, reach out to teams if the MEAC dissolves or whatnot. I think South Carolina State would be a great addition. North Carolina A&T, those type of things. But I don't know the behind the scenes of the finances. We got to understand that these colleges, these historically black colleges, are dealing with some real economic challenges that aren't faced at the same level by other schools, and are even as far as a Jackson State or whatnot, and even they deal with certain challenges. So that's going to affect their decisions, and we don't know the behind the scenes paperwork and their finances and stuff like that. So I can't really speak on that, but I would hope that historically black colleges would be able to be in black conferences because I think that would be good just to see. I would love to see a Howard versus FAMU or Jackson State or whatever. That would be cool to me, or Southern or Grambling. That would be real cool to me. So That's what I would hope for.
Okay. Well, all right. I appreciate the call.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, Mr. Ford, you there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, y'all, the phone lines are open. You can call if you disagree with anything. You can call. That's what this forum is for, so you can get your opinion out. You don't have to agree with everything that's said on the channel. Now, I do want to keep this about football. I don't want to go into the political thing too much, because this is a SWAC sports channel. So I do want to keep it in that realm, even though we could touch on the social issues a little bit, but let's keep it more about the sports and the conferences and the football, or basketball, whatever we're talking about. Let's keep it about that in that vein. But like I said, y'all can call in. The phone lines are open. I know things get a little heated. People get a little passionate, when they speaking on what they want to speak on. But let's keep it respectful. If you disagree with anything said, you can call in, give your opinion. That's what this forum is for. All right, y'all got any questions? We should not leave our HBCU conferences while kill our own to join others. Progress doesn't mean leaving your own.
I'm telling you, what we want to do, see that young man that just called in, he doesn't understand history. What we have done, we want to leave our house and go and build our oppressors. What we want to do. And a lot of them can't understand that, and that's why he said that little stuff he said. See, he's worried about white people and saying, well, white people do this. We can't worry about white people. We got to do what we're supposed to do.
Okay, Ms. Ford, I got another call.
People.
I got another call. I'm going to put you on hold real quick, Ms. Ford. Stay there for me.
Okay.
Hey, caller. How you doing? You live?
Hey, guys. My name's Mike from Owens Crossroads. I'm a proud Alabama A&M University alum. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great.
Great. I'll make this quick. I don't want to take up too much time. I'm just wondering, we're talking about SWAC expansion, and I had the privilege of living on campus and working with guys who were in telecommunications, and I was part of Honda Campus All-Star Challenge, HBCU Knowledge Bowl, and we also had this talk really going back 15, 16 years ago. And I've been hearing a lot about, I didn't mean to cut you off, people say if you're going to expand with teams that get you decent media markets. So with that being said, Why? Can y'all give me your opinion why no one has mentioned anything about an Atlanta-based HBCU like Clark or Morris Brown or anything like that? Because we talking Tennessee State, and that's good, but why is no one mentioning a Morris Brown to potentially be that SWAC school, or maybe, and I'm just going way out on this one, Florida Memorial to pick up a Miami market? Just want to get y'all opinion.
Yeah, caller that just hung up, you can call back and I'll get you on. So, in my opinion, with Clark Atlanta, I would like Clark Atlanta, but they're kind of a small HBCU. I think their stadium only holds 5K. Their Atlanta market will be good, but you have to, you don't want to get small schools into the conference because you don't want another Valley situation. Even though we love Valley, but they do struggle because of the size of their school and the size of their stadium. So that's one thing. We don't know if Clark Atlanta could, I guess, boost their enrollment and things like that. They probably would be a good fit, but I don't know. It may be size that's the problem with Clark Atlanta. And then Morris Brown, they just, I don't think they financially can be able to come to the SWAC, in my opinion.
All right, appreciate that, big dog.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ford, you there?
Okay. Yeah. Let me say this about Clark Atlanta and Morehouse. I'm a graduate of Clark Atlanta. We don't have a commitment to athletics. Okay. I just said, I would like, maybe if Alabama State or Alabama A&M could come in and play Morehouse or Clark. But as far as joining the SWAC, no. Man, Clark doesn't have the commitment of a Jackson State or Alabama State or Grambling or Southern. We're not like that. We can come over and give them a football game, but as far as joining the conference, no way. Florida Memorial probably is a Division II school. Best thing for them probably would be the SIAC, but not the SWAC. Not the SWAC. They don't have that kind of commitment.
So Tomorrow Leader Sports Network says CAU ain't ready, but will be with Coach Slater being there.
They can do well in the SIAC, but Clark is not going to spend the kind of money that you need to be competitive in the SWAC. They're not going to do it.
Okay. So the caller that just hung up, you can call back and I get you on the show. So yeah, you can call back.
Like I told you, really, we could have a doubleheader at the beginning of October. We can bring in 4, possibly 6 teams if we want to do a triple header. But I know we can do a double header. Bring them to the Dome or to Georgia Tech or even to Georgia State Stadium. You bring your big dogs. You bring your Southerns, your Jacksons, your FAMUs, your Alabama States or your Alabama A&M. We could pack the Dome. You could do a double header or you could do a triple header. And I'm telling you, that Dome would be filled all day. But no, you don't need to bring Morehouse into the SWAC. Morehouse's thing is not athletics. They don't care about athletics like that. They're not going to put out that kind of money that is needed to be a player in the SWAC. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, you have to bring in schools that they're committed to having big programs and doing big things in the athletic department.
Listen. Here's the thing. Now, if Clark and Morehouse were to combine their athletic program, then we got a conversation. But as far as talking about Clark and Morehouse, no. Listen, basically, the only game that the Clark alums care about is homecoming. And sometimes they'll get 20,000 people. They don't even know the score of the game. They're there to socialize. That's not a thing at Clark or Morehouse to have a quote-unquote perennial powerhouse. That's not. If the perennial powerhouse in the SIAC, that's schools like Miles College, Savannah, Albany State, those kind of schools. When Morris Brown was alive and well, they were a power in the SIAC, especially under Lambert Reed. I don't know if y'all remember him. Under Lambert Reed, they were a power.
So Mario,
right there, nah.
So Mario says, hold on just a second. Mario says Georgia Tech just got $80 million from the state of Georgia. Why can't a HBCU in Georgia get state money to expand their program?
It's politics, baby.
Yep.
It's politics.
That's
Now,
exactly what it is,
Albany
you know.
State does have
It's
some
just
nice
like
facilities. I've been to Fort Valley. Has a nice stadium, has a nice gymnasium. I don't know, but I grew up on Fort Valley and Albany State. To me, I might be wrong. I don't think they're SWAC ready yet.
Yeah,
they can get there.
That's just like Jackson State.
I don't think they're SWAC ready.
That's just like Jackson State. That's just like Jackson State not having a stadium yet. It's because of the government, you know.
But
so
but you got that Veterans Memorial, which gives you the largest the largest stadium for HBCU.
Yeah.
I think that thing holds 60,000, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What does that veteran hold?
Yeah, a little bit like 61,000 capacity.
Yeah. Yeah, you had 3 games. Listen, your homecoming was over 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
Your game with Alcorn was over 50,000. Your game with Prairie View was 50,000 or more. What other black school can brag and say that?
Yeah, me personally, I wouldn't mind if Jackson State stayed there. They renovated the stadium. They just stayed there.
That's right.
Because
I rather. That's an SEC stadium.
Yeah, I rather.
Wasn't it built for Ole Miss and Mississippi State?
Yeah, back in the day. So I rather have Jackson State playing at a stadium where they can have a lot of fans than to get something that the state funds and they only give us a 30 to 40,000 capacity stadium. You know.
Let me ask Miss Body. You said, Mr. Ford, have you visited all HBCU campuses? I've never visited the ones in West Virginia. I've never been to Delaware State. I've been to the ones in Maryland, except I didn't go to Maryland Eastern Shore. But basically, Virginia, I've been to a lot of Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, the only one I visited in Texas, I visited Texas Southern. I didn't get a chance to go to Prairie View.
Hold on just a second, Mr. Ford. So we got 116 people in here watching. We only got 62 likes. Come on, y'all. Get the likes up, man. We can at least get 100 likes. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Edwin Moore said blacks in Mississippi got Alcorn another stadium. That is when the Ole Miss and Mississippi State alums forced the state to build them a new stadium, and they stopped playing in the Mississippi Veteran Memorial Stadium.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because, see, I remember when I was at Grambling, I remember that Southern Miss would play in Jackson, Ole Miss would play in Jackson, Mississippi State would play in Jackson. They would have the white people to play during the day, and at night you had a SWAC schedule. And I remember, I think Valley, because I saw a Valley game once. Valley played Southern in '85 on a Saturday night. I was there at that game. And I knew it was the home stadium for Jackson State, and I think Alcorn, because matter of fact, I remember watching a game, Alcorn and Mississippi Valley. That game had over 62,000 people. Mm-hmm. So I remember the days now when everybody played in Jackson. It was like a football hotbed. You know, everybody in Mississippi would play in Jackson, Mississippi. That's been some years back, though.
Ms. Ford, let me let the chat know. Hey, y'all, the call lines are open, so if you want to call in, share your opinion, you can call in. The number's on the screen. So the call lines are open, just letting y'all know that. So if the MEAC and Celebration Bowl are so beneficial, why did the perennial champs A&T leave? How does expanding the SWAC push the culture forward? A larger SWAC and no MEAC, so a SWAC-only playoffs?
Ooh, now, that would be interesting. Like I said, as far as A&T is concerned, I think they got some bad advice from their athletic director, Hinton, and I think he's misled them twice. He misled them first to the Big South, and now he's misled them to the CAA. I think that you're going to see A&T's athletic program, go down. Because you got to remember that one time they had the number 2 or 3 track program in the country. Mm-hmm. Their football team was, especially on the Rod Broadway and under this guy now, they were rolling. Okay, the basketball team is doing well. The baseball was looking good. Hey, look at them now.
What I think these schools are doing that's going to those other conferences, I think they're banking on, okay, now we're in the CAA. Now we can get these recruits, these bigger recruits, or 4-star, 5-star recruits, or want to come to our school now because we're in a bigger conference. So I think that's what they're banking on.
Jackson State is in the SWAC. They're getting 4 and 5 stars.
Yeah.
Somebody said right here, North Carolina A&T is looking to move up to the FBA, so you can get beat 60-0 every week. Oh, good luck with that.
All right, we got another call. We got another call coming in. Let me get this call, Mr. Ford. Hold on just a second. All right, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, how you doing? Now I appreciate the opportunity for taking my call.
Okay.
The first thing I want to say, the last 2 callers, they were spot on about the games being played in Mississippi, and that included black and white schools, and also when he was talking about North Carolina, the other caller talking about North Carolina A&T, he's spot on. And but what I would love to see is, from what I understand, I think it's 4 conferences that are
one second, caller. 1 second, caller. Cut off the stream in the background. Cut off the YouTube video in the background while you're on the call, because it'll loop back and we can hear it in the background.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so cut that off.
And okay.
All right,
hear me now?
Yeah, you good.
Okay then. And I think this is what I would love to see. I would love to see because I think it's four conferences. There's HBCU, like CIAA, the MEAC, the SWAC, and the AC. I would love for them to do like the Power 5, the Power 4, the 4 conference champions, and then 2 wild cards, like that would include like Langston or some of the other schools, like or now North Carolina A&T and Hampton, and make a bowl series, and then there will be the celebration bowl for the actual championship, and they can actually be crowned a national black champion, and then they will give more exposure to all the universities as well. You know, being pushed forward with Dion and Nettie George and everything, because we know historically we've always been rich, because HBCUs alone can the power. And then also that'll make, like, how like North Dakota State is a powerhouse in the FCS. They'll make these big universities to start play us more and bring more exposure, because we all know our players can line up and put their pass on just like any other player. The only thing they different have is facilities. And so, thank you for taking my call.
Yeah. So I think the only problem with that playoff system that you were saying, I think the NCAA has some kind of rules where D2 schools and D1 schools can't do it like a bowl system together. So that may be the only hiccup with that. But I appreciate the call.
Okay then, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. All right. All right, Mr. Ford, you there?
Let me just say, I like this plan, but now the plan that he just gave you, we really need that for HBCU basketball, because our basketball is, I'm sorry, and I know y'all hate to hear me say it, our basketball is terrible. And that's what we need to help bring our basketball back. We don't need all them games against Michigan State. We need what he said, that tournament where we would have an HBCU basketball tournament, because I'm telling you now, our basketball has gone down to nothing. Now, that was a good idea right there.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
Yeah, that would be good. We just have to make sure that,
especially for basketball.
The NCAA, they have their rules and restrictions, so we have to work around that.
For years, the NCAA didn't want us in it, and then when we got in the NCAA, they cut our legs out from under us, and they still do it. The NCAA caters to the Power Fives. Anytime they get a chance to put a black HBCU on probation, they're going to do it.
The phone lines are open, y'all. Y'all can call if you want to get your opinion out. I appreciate Mr. Ford staying with us on the channel. Yeah, I had some internet issues. That's why the sound was cutting out. But we should be fine now.
Yeah.
The only game they possibly could win is Vanderbilt. Morpheus said NCAA will be irrelevant soon. It's looking like that, huh?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I agree with that. I know the Power Five has put them on notice that they have basically no power over the Power Fives. They're going to be able to do anything they want to do. They're going to have to police themselves, which means they ain't going to police themselves at all. Like I told you, the NCAA for years has been the biggest plantation in America. You know, you had football, all these football teams, all these basketball teams. These kids were getting nothing. Okay? Making all this money, getting nothing.
Make sure y'all hit the like. Make sure y'all hit the like button. We got 84 likes. Let's get to 100, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you for taking my call. I love this channel. Appreciate that, LJ. Appreciate that. So, Mr. Ford, so you would have people that say, well, we don't have a Dion like Jackson State does. So we need to go to a CAA to get these 4- and 5-star recruits because we don't have Deion Sanders.
Morgan State needs to go after Ray Lewis. Okay? You got people like Ken Norton Jr. I don't know if he's I think he may have got a job, but he was fired. There are people that have name recognition. I've said this over and over. We worship celebrities. So we can go and get these celebrities. To be honest with you, I thought Hugh Jackson was going to go to Alabama State. I thought that's who they was going to go after, but they decided to go with the homeboy.
Yeah, okay? I did too.
But Grambling stepped up and made that move, and they are going to prosper because of that move. Okay? I'm going to say this again, and I mean this. If this guy McKinney does not work out at Texas Southern, go get Jay Hobson. I give him 2 years, he'll take over the SWAC. Turn Jay Hobson loose in Texas and see the guys he'll bring to Texas Southern. I saw him do it at Alcorn. I know he'll do it at Texas Southern. They got more money. They're in a bigger state.
Do you think Texas Southern...
It's about getting quality people.
Do you think Texas Southern is going to have a good season this year, though? I mean, because I feel like he's on the hot seat. I think that coach is on the hot seat.
Let me tell you this. If their defense comes through for them and is good, you better watch Texas Southern because I'm telling you, they got an outstanding offense coordinator. His name is Doug Morris. I don't have to talk about Andrew Body. You know about him. The biggest problem in Texas Southern for me is defense. I don't see where they stop people.
Tomorrow Leader Sports Network said, wait, is South Carolina State going to the SWAC? No, that's just that's a prospective thing that I have on the thumbnail. So we're just saying what teams would you want in the SWAC if they did expand?
Now, let me just say this.
Go ahead.
Texas Southern should be dominant in the SWAC in football. That might be the largest university in the SWAC. Somebody let me know that. Is Texas Southern the largest school in the SWAC, or is it Prairie View or Texas Southern?
It might be Prairie View.
Which one's the largest school in the SWAC?
I know Prairie View is pretty big.
Yep, so is Texas Southern. Now, this is what I want Texas Southern to do. I want Texas Southern to take advantage of this new relationship with the Houston Texans, okay? If they can get either their coaches to get with Lovie Smith, or if Lovie Smith can send us one of them little hotshot analysts to help run Texas Southern's defense, please do that.
Yeah, so
to me,
so Prairie View is 8,000. Prairie View is 8,000. Prairie View is 8,000 and Texas Southern is 10,000. 10,500.
10,000 students. They should be. They shouldn't just be dominant in basketball, men and women's basketball. They should be dominant in football. They should be dominant in baseball, track and field. They should be dominant. They're in the 4th largest city in America. They're in Houston, Texas. Do you know that there's more land in Harris County than there is in the state of New Jersey? There's no excuse for it. Texas Southern should be dominant.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I don't know what they could do because to me, when I seen their fans don't really come to the games like that. They don't really pack out their stadium. So
that's why I said one of the things I hope that comes out of this is I would like to see them make Durley Stadium a 12 to 15,000 seat stadium so that the people can come to Texas Southern's campus. I don't like the fact that they go into that soccer field.
Yeah.
I feel that they should be playing on Texas Southern's campus.
Jeffrey says, my thing is everybody wants to play these PWI schools out of conference. Why not keep playing the smaller HBCUs to keep the money in-house?
There you go, because they need it. I don't see no problem with North Carolina A&T playing Johnson C. Smith, Hampton playing Virginia Union, Norfolk State playing Virginia State. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with Alabama A&M playing Tuskegee? Nothing. That's what we're supposed to do, and it should be home and home. Who wouldn't want to go to Charlotte, one of the most beautiful cities in America? You could bring Carolina A&T to Charlotte.
That would be nice. Winning fixed a lot of problems, honestly. Some of the top high schools in the country are in the Houston metro area. Texas Southern can't recruit them.
Okay, let me just say this again. Texas Southern has no excuse that they are not dominating the SWAC in every sport. Because let me just tell you something. I don't have to tell y'all, Texas got plenty of money, and Texas Southern got plenty of money. Okay? Texas Southern should have a perennial powerhouse in football. They have it in basketball, men and women. They should have it in baseball. They should have it in track and field. They should even have it in tennis, men and women. There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
Edward says if Texas Southern improves as it appears they are, and their band really grows in popularity as they are expected, I believe Texas Southern will start drawing a very good home following. We'll see. We'll see. Because they definitely have they definitely have a big alumni base. So
they got it.
Yeah, they should be good. And they are getting it.
I want y'all to remember.
Hold on, Miss Ford. Let me say this real quick. So they are getting that field donated to them from Texas Southern. They're getting a turf field donated to them, and it's going to be on their campus now. So maybe they'll start playing more games at their home campus. Go ahead, Miss Ford. What you about to say?
Yeah. But see, here's the thing about the city of Houston, Texas. The city of Houston, Texas, every year produces 500 Division I athletes. You gonna tell me out of 500, Texas Southern can't get 15 to 20 of them? They can't get 15. And listen, because kids, all of the schools come to, all NCAA schools, especially Power 5 schools, come to Houston to recruit. Many of those kids go to those schools for 1 year, and then they want to transfer back home. Open your doors to those kids. You remember Johnny Cole? That's the last time you were in the SWAC championship. You had Johnny Cole. Johnny Cole opened the door to those Power 5 transfers. Texas Southern needs to do the same thing now.
LJ said HBCUs have enough Hall of Famers to put together an amazing coaching staff. Yeah, the question is, do they want to coach? You got to give them the coach.
Listen, it's a lot of them would like to come down here. Would like to come to the SWAC. I'm telling you. It's not just the players that want to follow Dion. There are people now that have played in the NFL. They want to do what Dion is doing. Believe me.
So the call lines are open, y'all. If y'all want to call in, y'all can call in, get your opinion out. If you disagree with anything that's said, you're free to call in, give your opinion. We're not biased over here, so call in. If you disagree, call in. You're going to tell me.
Somebody said it right here. You're right. That's one thing about that transfer portal, baby. You can get some top-rated athletes.
Yeah.
What you got to do is do your background and character checks on them, because there's some good kids. Let me tell you something. If Nick Saban recruited a kid, and after 1 or 2 years he want to leave, I'm going to talk to him. If I'm a SWAC school, I got to vet him. I got to find out what's going on with him. If he wants to leave, Nick Saban recruited him, because that's one thing people don't know. Nick Saban can recruit. Yeah. If he recruited you, that means you have NFL potential. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them want to leave. Listen, let's go after them.
Yeah, because they all can't play. They all can't play. I said they all
Oh,
can't
no,
play.
listen,
You know, he got
at
5
the
stars
University
sitting on the
of
bench.
Alabama, they got 5 stars sitting behind 5 stars.
Yep. And I think once they
That's what
get
they
there
got
and
in
they
Alabama.
realize that next year they look for somewhere else to go. So HBCUs need to jump on those players.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. Whatever they throw out as they trash, it can be a diamond for us. Remember Devontae Kincaid? He was 3rd string at Auburn, I think, 3rd or 4th string. He comes to Grambling and takes over HBCU football at the quarterback position. Look at what he did in 2 years at Grambling. Devontae Kincaid, he was out of Dallas, Texas. Look at what he did in 2 years at Grambling. Yeah, you're right.
Jahari,
that's one thing I did notice about Alabama yesterday.
Jahari Gary says JSU needs one guy drafted this year. They may have a couple of guys drafted because Keith Corbin is getting some attention.
Oh, yeah.
And James Houston getting a lot of attention as well.
If they don't get it this year, it'll be soon.
Yeah. Now, what I would like to see HBCUs do is take advantage of the USFL. I would like to see them take advantage of that, because I'm looking at the games. I'm like, okay, this looks legit. They don't have the crowds yet, but once they get the crowd, this is going to be a legit professional league, and everybody can't go to the NFL. So I do think HBCUs do need to take advantage of the USFL and the XFL that's coming next year.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. They all pay a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
All of them pay a paycheck.
Jordan Houghton said, I disagree. Those top kids that are from Texas that go to Bama, Ohio State, that transfer usually go to Texas Tech, Baylor, Texas A&M, Houston, etc. I mean, that's why.
Once again.
Yeah, go ahead, Ms. Ford. You can answer that.
Once again, you turning out 500 Division I prospects, and you're going to tell me Texas Southern can't get 15 to 20 of them? I don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that. You're going to tell me that some of them kids wouldn't want to come back to Texas Southern?
Now, I think what HBCUs need to do is really play up their culture. Let these kids know what kind of culture they're about to come into. You're going to be around your people at a HBCU. You're going to be in a classroom with a teacher that really cares about you. It's not, you're not just some number. I remember my teachers when I was at my HBCU, when I was at Jackson State, my teachers had my phone number. They would text me when I didn't come to class. Where you at? You're not gonna get a teacher that really cares about seeing you walk across that stage like you would at a PWI. So I mean, like you're not gonna get that at a PWI like you would at a HBCU. So
listen, that kid Halloween left UCLA and is now at Grambling. You gonna tell me that some of them kids in Houston, off to these major schools, don't want to come back to Texas Southern? I'm not buying that.
Hold on, Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, your phone is cutting out. Give me 1 second, Mr. Ford. Let me do something real quick. Your phone was cutting out. Hold on.
Okay.
We should be good now, Mr. Ford.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. But there's no excuse for Texas Southern not to have a dominant program in that SWAC West. Like I said, in all sports. Let me tell you something. There are kids in Louisiana. There are kids in Mississippi. There are kids in Arizona who would love to come to Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is a land of opportunity. When you go back to 2007, 2008, we had that stock market crash, and most of the states were in dire straits as far as the economy. Guess what, guys? The state of Texas was booming. Okay? Everybody will tell you, if you go to the state of Texas and you can't get a job, you don't want to work.
Yeah.
Okay? There's a lot to offer in Houston, Texas, Harris County. Okay?
Yeah. Everybody moving to Houston. Everybody. I know so many people from Jackson moving to Houston. So it's definitely
for Texas Southern not to have an outstanding football program. There's no y'all can start all this about they don't have the facilities and they don't have this and SMU and what's that school, University of Houston here and all that. Listen, that's still no reason for Texas Southern not to have. Matter of fact, to me, when Texas Southern is supposed to have a program that is so outstanding, when Jackson State comes out there, they're supposed to play at NRG Stadium. That's where they're supposed to meet at. You got Dion bringing his boys out there. You're supposed to have your program ready to offend, to protect Houston.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me get this question real quick.
Grambling and Texas Southern would play at the Astrodome. When Tennessee State would come out there, Tennessee State and Texas Southern would play in the Astrodome. You can't tell me we can't do that again.
Jaharvis
can't tell me that.
Jaharvis says Jackson State spring game could really help HBCUs if JSU puts $30K in there. I think they're going to have a lot of people. I think they're going to shock. Because, you know, a lot of people want to see Travis Hunter for the first time. So that spring game is going to get a lot of attention. So I expect that house to be packed.
Listen, I saw that kid, Travis Hunter. I saw him. I think one was called the Polynesian Bowl because I was like everybody else. I want to see what all the thing was about him. And let me just say this to y'all. He is the real deal.
Yep.
He is the real. Y'all don't understand why them people down there at Florida State were so upset.
Yeah.
That boy's a player.
A generational talent.
Yes, and he can play on both sides of the ball. Listen, it's going to be a group of people that's going to come to Jackson State called NFL scouts that's going to come for the next 3 or 4 years. However long he's there, they're going to be there in Jackson to see him. Some of them probably going to rent out a house in Jackson. Like, he is the real deal.
That kid has top 3 going in the draft talent. Like, he's a game changer.
You think they was mad for nothing? They wasn't mad. Do you know they burned Dion's jersey and all that down there in Tallahassee?
Oh, yeah,
they
did.
know what they lost?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is the real deal.
And I just hope I want to see him stay for 3 years and go into the NFL draft as a Jackson State player. I don't want to, I know you see online these people like, oh, he's going to transfer and all this. That kid has made it. He has said so many times, I want to graduate as a HBCU athlete, or I want to go into the draft as an HBCU athlete so I can change the game.
There you go.
He wants to be legendary, And
that's what he's going to be. Because he's well known right now for what he did. Because a lot of our kids don't have that enough sense to do that. This kid was the #1 prospect in America. And he chose what? Jackson State. And I'm telling y'all now, it's 2 people I hope they don't play politics with. The one is that boy at Florida A&M they just got from Vanderbilt. That Musa kid should be the starting quarterback at Florida A&M right now. I don't want to hear nothing about no Rashawn McKay. I've told y'all over and over, I coach quarterback. That kid Musa got some stuff on him that you can't coach. This kid Travis Hunter, now I know Dion them ain't going to try to not start this boy. You got the #1 prospect in the United States, and then he ain't going to start? Oh, I hope we don't go through this now. This boy got to play. I don't want to hear nothing about he don't weigh but 165 or 170 pounds. This kid got to play.
Let me answer this for Phil Ross. He said, with a successful career at JSU, do they hold his draft stock against him just because he came there? An NFL team would be fools if they did that. They would be fools. You're not going to let a player like that slip by because of where he played at. They would be fools. That's a generational talent.
Let me give you a little story. This was back in 1982. It was 1982. The Atlanta, back then we had the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. We still had it as our major paper. We had a black guy who wrote for the newspaper. His name was Ernie Reese. He was a graduate of Alcorn. Every year he would put in the top 20 players in the AJC that were for the coming season. One year he put a kid in there by the name of Jerry Rice, and everybody a lot of black people saying, "What is Mississippi Valley?" And I'll never forget the uniform they had him in. It had green, but it had like a red tint, and so everybody was saying, "Who is this Jerry Rice?" He was about a sophomore then. They said, "Who is this Jerry Rice?" Well, let me tell you what happened. Like y'all talking about coming here, Jerry Rice, his junior year, Willie Totten was a sophomore. They came to play Morris Brown, and they brought that offense. And I think they won the game like 49-0. And everybody in the stands stopped talking about the football game, and they were saying, do you think that this Mississippi Valley team can win the SWAC? Well, here's the thing. They scored a lot of points, but they never won the SWAC. But I'm telling you now, this when y'all get your eyes on this Hunter kid, it's going to be the same thing. Every NFL team is going to come to see Travis Hunter. You can best believe that. You can bet your check on that, because he that kind of a talented kid. That's what that kid is all about. See, the NFL, they live off of talent. Mm-hmm. They looking for talent. That boy got talent. Okay? So don't even worry about whether or not he going to get drafted. He going in the first round. That's kind of kid he is. Yeah. He going first round.
And then his look, his personality, he's a superstar.
Yeah.
He has it.
I'm telling you now.
And I'm glad he's at HBCU.
That a lot of y'all don't know about. You're going to see. But I done told y'all, the NFL live off of talent. They ain't, no, baby. When you show them that you can play, they coming to see you.
Phil Ross said, hold on, Rice and Todd never won the SWAC?
No, they never won it. They played for it the year that everybody thought they was going to win it was in 84, but Alcorn put a stop to that. Alcorn had a boy named Isaac Holt. He went to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to be honest with you. He checked Jerry Rice that day. Matter of fact, that game is the largest attended game at Veterans Memorial. The game was on a Sunday, and it was nationally televised. That boy Isaac Holt was a big old. Ask some people from Alcorn about Isaac Holt. He played for Jimmy Johnson for the Dallas Cowboys. He put a check on Totten.
Yeah. I know about that. I know about that game because Alcorn fans always bring it up. They always bring it up. We got the most attended game in y'all stadium, so they always bring it up.
That's right. Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Isaac. I don't know what happened to Isaac. We have to ask some of our Alcorn people. Where is he now? But he was a stud with the Dallas Cowboys. He was a corner. He was a big physical corner. He came out of Alcorn, played for Marino Castro.
Jordan
had people on the staff like Rat and all of them people.
All right, Jordan Haddon says, let's be realistic here. Travis Hunter has to put up godly numbers to get first round because of how the NFL looks at FCS in a whole, and it comes to level playing. Hold on, that scroll by really fast. Basically, he's saying that Travis Hunter has to put up godly numbers to get drafted. I don't agree with that. I don't
know about the numbers, but I know one thing. He'll show the talent that'll cause him to go first round.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, what you say his name was? What's his name that said that? Mr. Haddon.
Yeah, Jordan Haddon.
I ain't going to argue with you about that. Because, baby, let me tell you something. I just want you to put your eyes on him, and I want you to see what I see.
Call in, Jordan.
Offensive, defense, and he's special team.
I want people like that to call in so you can really explain your point, but I don't think it matters. Like, he's already been watched by all the NFL teams anyway. I don't think it really matters. A player like him, it doesn't matter what school he goes to. The NFL is already watching him. All they doing is waiting there 3 years.
Terry Harris said Holt played at Carver High School, Birmingham, Alabama, my high school. Okay. So somebody does remember Isaac Holt. He was. Do you remember when he played for the Dallas Cowboys? And there's another one right there, Milton Mack. I remember him. There was another guy, Alcorn, named Dwayne White, and there was a defensive back named Lewis. Was it Gary Lewis? All of them guys came out of Alcorn. They were studs too. That's what I'm telling you. And them guys went to the league and took over.
All right, Mr. Ford, hold on for a minute. I got a call. Let me put you on hold. Hold on just a second. All right, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's up, man? This is J Love.
Hey, what's going on, J Love?
No, man, I want to call in, but I'm just kind of seeing some of what they saying down in the live, man. And I think it's crazy that people are saying that this guy don't have he got to put up monster numbers, or he got to have like an incredible season in order to go in the first round of the draft.
Can you kind of speak in your phone a little bit better so I can hear you clearly?
Can you hear me a little bit clearer?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, so I mean, everybody's saying that he got to put up these monster numbers and stuff like this to get drafted in the first round. I don't know if I'm a little bit older, but I'm a graduate. I graduated from Jackson State. I don't know if people remember this player, but a dude came through Tennessee State in 20. What year? I can't remember the exact year. I have to look it up. But his name was Dominique Rogers Camardi. He came through Tennessee State. Are you familiar with that player?
Yeah. He played for the Eagles, right?
You damn right.
Yeah.
He played with the Eagles. I think he was drafted overall number 16. First round 16 pick. Man, that dude told the conference alive. I mean, did he have all of the physical attributes and the speed? Yeah, he had everything. But when I'm saying talent, I'm talking about God-given talent. He ain't got what Travis Hunter got. He just ain't got that type of God. He didn't have that type of God-given talent. But Rogers Camardi was a gorilla, and he went right there from Tennessee State. I think it was first round, 16th pick. I remember that. So, I mean, did he have good numbers? Yeah, he single-handedly beat Jackson State by himself that year that they played. His numbers was good, and he was a great cornerback. But if I was to line the two up, Travis Hunter is way more talented to me than Rogers Camardi was. So I'm going to disagree with what they saying in the chat. What you think about that?
Yeah, like I said, man, I think he's a generational talent. I think the NFL has been watching him, and they're just waiting for his 3 years to be up, and they're going to draft him. I think he's going to go top 3. I think they're just waiting. I don't think it matters what school he goes to. So I don't think, unless he just comes out and just plays like trash, like that'll be the only way I see him not making it to the NFL. Well, we're not getting drafted in the first round.
Definitely. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thanks for taking my call, though.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, I got another call. Let me get this caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, it's LJ again, man.
Oh, what's going on, LJ?
Oh, yeah. I was calling in regards to what y'all was saying. I say I agree and disagree. And the reason why I say I agree and disagree, I'm hoping, just like you and Mr. Ford is saying, that basically all the biases, because we know that they are real. And what I'm saying is I'm hoping that all the biases for recent years, that Travis basically tears down all that notion. Because honestly, we shouldn't even have to wait till Terrence. I mean, to Travis come because of all these guys that Jack State has now. You got a transfer portal guy in Houston that should be going. He tore it up at these bowl games, so he should go high. And the DB from FAMU. So let's just hope that what you all
kind of cut out.
80s and 90s.
Okay.
Huh?
I can hear you now. You had cut out just a minute.
Okay, good. Because we know late 80s and 90s, HBCUs was flooded with first-round draft pick, and they was getting drafted. But we know lately, and what I mean lately, because I remember Camardi, I remember Tavari, I remember all those guys that they got drafted. But we know recently, HBCUs are known for band schools or money catchers, to go to these big universities and get money or just entertainment for the bands. You got more recruits that said recently before Dion got there, more recruited for the band than the players. And so, like I said, I'm hoping that Travis, breaks that down for the first. But like I said, we know before the end, Marquise Bell from FAMU should definitely, because if you had 29 or 32 recruits coming to see this young man, that should already break that bias alone. But we know recently, HBCUs have not gotten, what they need as far as exposure to get these guys, young men in the league. Because like I said, again, we know those guys put their pass on just like anybody else. And like I said, man, I just hope that recruitment keeps going. And I think, too, if I was a recruiter, any that won state championships in my high school, I will always start in my own backyard, whether they was white or black. One thing I always learned about guys, whether they was a starter or a bench rider, if that guy has the mindset or the mentality of champion winning, he can be a catalyst for in the in the locker room. After you get so many of those guys on your team, eventually ain't nobody gonna lose because they're not used to. But thank you for taking my call, though.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, bye.
All right, give me 1 second, Mr. Ford. Now, what I would say to that is, I don't think these NFL teams can afford to have that bias this time when it comes to Travis Hunter. They can't afford to do that. You know, when you got a player like that going into the draft, you got to take them. You know, you can't play those games. Well, Ms. Ford, you're on now. They can hear you. You can speak your piece.
Yeah. Listen, I remember Dominique Cromartie. I think he's on Eddie George's staff at Tennessee State. He's retired now from the NFL. He represented black college football well. I remember. I think I want to say he was with the Giants, and then was he ever a Denver Bronco? Because he was really good. I liked him. He was kind of a tall DB, because sometimes DBs are kind of short and fast, but he had length on him. He was a good man. I remember Dominique Cromartie, without a doubt.
Yep.
Represented Tennessee State and black college football well.
So, what do you think? What do you think Marquise Bell is going to go in the draft?
You know what? And I've just heard him mention Marquise Bell. Marquise Bell was just flown to the Dallas Cowboys to meet with the coaching staff. So that lets you know that this guy's definitely going to be drafted. I don't know if he's going to be first round or third round, but I can tell you this: he's a first round talent. I've watched him now maybe 2 years, because I know he came from a junior college to Florida A&M. I'm gonna say this: whatever round he's gonna make an impact on whatever team gets him. He's gonna he's gonna do well. That kid is I think he's originally from New Jersey, went to the University of Maryland, and then transferred to a junior college, and then the Florida A&M staff brought him into Tallahassee. That kid is a player.
Yeah.
That kid is a player. That Marquise Bell is a player, man.
So Jeffrey Zegler says HBCU shouldn't be struggling anyway at any sport. All these ghettos in America with this talent, while PWI winning out. You know, they're promising money. Well, that's just what it is. You know, they're promising money.
See, let me say
and they're
this
getting these players.
And I keep repeating this, and I want y'all to hear me. I want your callers to hear me. Having successful athletic programs does not start on the football field. It does not start in the gym. It doesn't start on the baseball field. It doesn't start on the track. It starts in the president's office, and then it starts with the athletic director. If you don't have a vision, if you don't have a plan, then you're not going to get the big-time kids. Then you are not going to be a winner. It starts in the president's office, and it starts with the athletic director. And one of the problems we've had is that we've had incompetent people as presidents of our universities. We've had incompetent people as athletic directors, okay?
Yeah.
And so when we get those people that got a vision and a strategy and a program at these HBCUs, then they're gonna be like Florida A&M. They're gonna be like Southern. That's got to have. But always remember, it starts in the president's office first. And if they don't have a commitment to athletics, you're not gonna be outstanding.
Make sure y'all hit that like button. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hold on, let me greet this comment real quick. Just a second. So, hold on just a second. So, Mr. Ford, where do you think Marquise Bell is going in the draft?
I would like to see him go out west.
Yeah.
What
round do you think he's going though? What round? What round do you? I'm hoping he goes third or fourth.
Somebody said right here, Mario, I could go with third or fourth round.
Yeah.
You know, but I just believe he's going to do well. I think that eventually he will be a starter in the NFL. That's what I see. I don't know too much about what round he's going to go in, but I'm going to tell you, whoever gets this guy, they getting a ball player.
Yeah.
This guy is really good. I've watched him.
Now, if there's any bias that NFL teams would show, it'll be with a player like him. But I think he's done enough. He's shown enough that he's the real deal, and I think he's probably going to go third or fourth round. Third or fourth round. Yeah, if y'all want to call in, the phone lines are open. Phone number 657-390-4814. You can call in and get your thoughts out. Phone lines are open. Go ahead, Ms. Ford.
Yeah, I think he's going to do well. I want to see James. I think James Houston's going to do well. I think that kid, That's the middle linebacker for Jackson, Aubrey Miller. I think he's going to, I tell people all the time, when he gets to the NFL, he's not going to be a middle linebacker. He's going to be on the outside. He's going to be like a James Harrison. He's not going to be a middle linebacker. But that kid, that Houston kid, that kid can play middle and he can play on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I really believe he's going to make it.
Yeah.
If somebody gives him a chance, he'll do well.
I actually think
And
he's
there are
going to
other kids
shock
in the
a lot
SWAC.
of people. I actually think he's going to shock a lot of people and go earlier than they think. I could see him being a second rounder. Like, I could see it.
Yeah, I like that Houston kid now. I like that Houston kid. I like that Miller kid. You know, there's a lot of kids that in the SWAC that I really like.
Yeah. Jacktown says
Yeah.
Marquise Bell is probably the third or fourth LCS prospect that'll be drafted this season.
Now, and let me say this now. I'm gonna tell you another school that they underachieved tremendously last year, but they had outstanding and they had pro-type talent. Southern University. Southern University had pro kids who could make it in the NFL. They just underachieved as a team.
Mm-hmm.
But they got watch that Ladarius Skelton kid. I think that he a wide receiver. He could be a running back. He could be turned into a defensive back. He could do some things now.
Yeah.
He can do some things.
Yeah, he's not going to be a quarterback.
Offensive line. I think his name was Carter. I could see them kids making it in NFL.
Yeah, he's not going to be a quarterback, but he's definitely an
No,
athletic
he's
freak.
not going to be a
So
quarterback. But
he
I
could
can see
definitely.
him punt returning, kickoff returning. That
Mhm.
kid was an athlete. Now, you're right, Jacktown. Now, I don't see him getting drafted, but I can see him as a free agent and making it. Because he's an athlete now.
Mario says PWIs know the sports generate multi-millions, so they invest back into their school to improve the facilities, attract these kids. Why don't HBCUs do that? I mean, I think it's changing now. You see HBCUs, they're doing it now, you know. We just have to get people in leadership that know business, that really want to see these programs flourish.
There you go. I see people making jokes about what happened at Grambling and about the president of Grambling and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. He brought Hugh Jackson in.
Mm-hmm.
That lets you know he knows something.
Yep.
President Hudson and AD Ashley Robinson brought in Dion. He knows something. Okay? That's what I'm saying about Texas Southern. Okay? Does the president of Texas Southern have a vision for an outstanding football program? Does the AD have a vision? Do they have a strategy to prepare Texas Southern football to be SWAC champions? Do they have that? This is what the alumni has to answer. Do they have a program? Jackson has it. Grambling has it.
BP says no.
Put together, what did Alcorn win the SWAC East, 5 or 6 years in a row? That means they had a program.
Yep. BP says no way is James Houston going in the third round. Call up, BP. I want you to call up and let us know why you think that.
Well, I don't know if he's going to go in the third round, but I believe if he's given an adequate chance, I think he makes it.
Mm-hmm. I think the LCS could have 2 first-round picks this year. I saw some mocks that had an O-line from some Iowa school, and Blue said something about him being first round last week.
Okay, what did he say now? I'm sorry. What was that?
You know, he was saying that he seen something about a FCS school having a first rounder. Blue said something about a first FCS school having a first rounder. Yeah, I mean, they'll take a chance on those schools. You know, we have to get them to respect our school just as much.
Let me say this: we might not have it this year, but it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that it's coming. We might not have. I don't know if we'll have a first rounder this year, but it's coming.
G-Dub says Jatire Carter will probably be the highest HBCU draft pick.
Yeah.
Now he's going up the draft boards because I've been seeing a lot of these pundits on these sports channels really talking him up. So he's doing very well.
Let me tell you something. When that guy Dawson Odoms left Southern, that program just sunk.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say this to you, baby. They had a lot of talent on that Southern team last year. There were a lot of talent. They just underachieved because they didn't have a head coach. When that guy Dawson Odoms left Southern and went to, I think he went to Norfolk State, that program sunk.
Yeah.
It did. It really did.
Well, yeah, Mr. Ford.
But there's talent on that Southern program.
Well, yeah, Mr. Ford. I love having you on. You know, you're always welcome. Show getting kind of long. We almost at 2 hours, so I'm gonna go and cut it off. I know people got to go to work tomorrow,
Okay.
so I appreciate
I
you tuning
thank
in.
you to everyone that was listening. I love it, and whenever you come back, let me know.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ford.
Okay. All right. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right.
All right. Do I have any other callers want to call in? Y'all can call in, get your thoughts out. We're winding down to the end of the show. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. You know how we do over here. Everybody's opinions are always welcome. You know, I don't show bias. You know, I'm going to let you get your opinions out. The Packers are drafting Watson first round. Appreciate you, Swag Buzz and Mr. Ford. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, we don't have anybody else calling in. I'm going to cut this show off, man. We just, you know, this is what we do over here. We talk about the SWAC, you know, and I love having y'all over here really showing love to the show. But like I said, make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel. I'll be dropping more videos this week, and I'll be going live this week as well. So I'll let y'all know when the next time I go live. Gina W says great show. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, I'm gone. See y'all guys on the next show. All right.